5 minutes. Minus 3 minutes. Minus 2 minutes.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiging sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo bangaw, ay hinatang tulakaw.
and better predict premiums that are given for property insurance. Design.
Getting the data that we are able to provide is one thing, but
thank you very much, Janina, for that wonderful introduction. Hi guys, this is Dr. Mike D, and in this episode, we're excited to give you the secret.
When I was pursuing my master's degree in the United States in 2012, I had the opportunity to attend a course at the Harvard Innovation Lab. And I was mesmerized with the entire design thinking, innovation, creativity, and this was what spurred my desire to establish one here at FEU.
The FEU Innovation Center is the first university-based venture builder in the Philippines. And the goal is to be able to create the next generation of nation builders through innovation, technology, and entrepreneurship.
In FEU Tech, Diliman and Alabang, we continuously push towards impactful and commercializable research, thesis, and capstone projects. This is in line with our core mission of contributing significantly to the betterment of society.
I was fortunate to have the support of management and the Institute of Technology here at FEU, so we were able to launch the FEU Innovation Center in 2019, the first of its kind in the University Belt.
The reason why we set up these programs at the Innovation Center is to be able to co-create the entrepreneurial and startup ecosystem in the Philippines. We do believe that entrepreneurship and innovation is one of the main pillars to create a first-world economy for the Philippines.
We continue to capitalize on our core strengths such as concrete technology, educational technology, construction technology, Internet of Things. And as we move forward, we will be expanding our capabilities in other emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence.
To all of you students, we would love for you to become the next entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators who will contribute to nation building. We have a program called the Startup Academy, where you will have experienced mentors from various industries engage with you. You will also have access to grants from venture capitalists and angel investors. We would like to invite all of you to create, to innovate, and to collaborate with us.
morning, everyone. I am Janina Napo from the FEU Tech Innovation Center, and I will be your host for this session. Join me as we explore innovation and beyond. Hello, ITAM. Hello, virtual FEU, and hello to all our other attendees watching via the Facebook Live. So we are happy to see that we are reaching 200 live viewers for this session. I'm sure all of you are excited to hear from our speakers for this morning. So we are already having our third TECHX session for the year. So previously we have featured topics such as blockchain, animation and game development. Last year we had artificial intelligence, data science, dermatological innovations, and we are featuring another exciting topic for this morning, and we are going to be joined by inspiring women in the world of robotics. So TechX is one of the flagship programs of the FEU Tech Innovation Center that aims to create awareness on the current advancements in technology, including deep tech. So on behalf of the whole FTIC team, we are happy to welcome our viewers, our live viewers joining us to listen and learn from our guest speakers. But to officially open this event, may I call first on screen our director for the FTIC, Mr. Roland Marco Garcia.
Good morning, everyone, and I'm really happy to be here, to be seeing a lot of our guests, right? And it's very fantastic to see that our panel is composed of all women, right, in tech, right? And there's a global movement right now celebrating women in tech because essentially, historically, it is a male-dominated sort of industry. And they're not just in tech, right? They are in robotics, which is one of the emerging fields of technology in the world. And hopefully, this session will be able to inspire you to enter robotics. So you can connect with our speakers once after the session. You can ask your questions about robotics if you're interested here, how you can start perhaps, or even just general sort of trivia, right, of what they're doing and the applications of their technology. And I'm very happy to welcome them, and I'm very thankful that they gave us their time this morning, their time out from their very busy schedules to talk to, of course, our community. And I do hope you enjoy the session, both for the audience and, of course, our panel this morning. So I think that's it for me. I'll be watching here, and I'll be enjoying the discussion for sure. So good morning, everyone, and welcome.
Thank you, Roland. I'm very, very excited to start with our panel. But before that, we have a lot of viewers on our Facebook Live, but I would like to encourage all of you to actually ask questions through our Facebook Live comment section so we can actually ask them during the open forum. So now, without further ado, let me introduce our first speaker. She is currently the president CEO of Velta Multimedia Inc. It is a 55-year-old company engaged in introducing innovative instructional materials and educational devices for school technology. Velta is the education solution provider of Intel Education since 2012 and a Microsoft Gold partner. She is also a lead organizer of the Philippine Robotics Olympiad and a World Robot Olympiad ambassador from 2018 to present. She is a multi-awarded woman leader and one of the most passionate mentors I personally know. So let's welcome Ms. Mylene Abiva.
Thank you very much, Gianna, for the generous introduction, and magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And also good morning, Sir Garcia, and thank you so much for the team for inviting us here this morning. May I share my screen? As Sir Roland Marco Garcia has mentioned, that technology is really a valuable enabler these days, specifically for recovery and survival during the COVID pandemic. But even before the COVID pandemic, we already know that technology will be the driver of growth in any economy. And I just would like to show some global views of what has been happening in other developing countries and developed countries in their programs for science and technology. The European Commission conducted a study of the evolution of students' interest in science and technology. And they have seen that there is a significant decrease in the developing countries on the interest in science and technology. So they have conducted what we call a ROSE project. And there were two questions that were asked. I would like to become a scientist. And if you will see in the Philippines, there is 50% girls and about 60% boys who are interested to become a scientist. And in developing countries, there are much interest in being a scientist, but they're not given the opportunity. And in developed countries or wealthy countries, very few want to become scientists, particularly the girls. Now, the second question that was asked during the ROSE project was, I would like to get a job in technology. And again, if you would see, there were 78% girls who would like to be in technology in the Philippines and about 80% boys. And again, the same format is that in developing countries, they want to be in technology, but not given the opportunity. And in wealthy countries or developed countries, nearly no girls want to work with technology, and even boys are ambivalent. So countries of this nature would probably have a concern. Now, looking at Japan, for example, who is technology-driven, there might be a problem because of their aging economy and their technology-driven economy. So what are the implications? Science and technology plays a role in modern society as it becomes more knowledge-based and competitive. And if still fewer younger people like yourselves pursue careers in STEM or in science and technology, and the negative development is not turned around, then companies will find it increasingly difficult to attract and maintain the right workforce in the future. So what are the core skills that are needed for you to succeed in the 21st century, or what they call the fourth revolution, industrial revolution? So the skills that you need would be learning and innovative skills, the 4 C's, information, media, and technology skills. You need also core subjects and life and career skills. And all of these are taught in robotics. So what are the recommendations of the European Commission? First is the reversal of school science teaching pedagogy from mainly deductive to inquiry-based science education, or IBSE. Therefore, no need for us to only memorize formulas, so that important for us to really understand and hone our critical thinking skills. So IBSE has proved its efficacy at both primary and secondary levels in increasing children's interest and attainment levels. IBSE is beneficial also in promoting girls' interest and participation in science activities. I know for some of the girls here, you might have a difficult time in asking questions or probably not too confident to ask questions. But during the IBSE, you are now given the opportunity to create your own solutions for certain scientific problems. So the ROSE project also says that there's prime importance of values, attitudes, and meaning or context for the interest in science and technology, teaching us to become motivating, meaningful, and engaging. And teaching has to link to what the learners bring to the classroom. And finally, there is a need to humanize school science. So as I said, no need for us to just sit here in front of the classroom or here in the webinar. There is a need for us to also conduct the critical thinking skills honed. So tomorrow's innovative workforce need critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. So what are we doing in the Philippine Robotics Olympiad? Let's watch this.
Bilis at galing sa robotics ang pinakita ng mga estudyante sa 16th Philippine Robotics Olympiad. Taunang paligsahan ito para sa mahigit 600 private at public schools sa buong Pilipinas. Layunin kasi ng grupo na paunlarin ang science, technology at mathematics sa mga kabataan.
Goal po natin ay robotics for all, inclusive education in robotics. Ang gusto po namin mangyari ay ma-encourage nga po ang ating kabataan maging scientists, inventors, and engineers for our country.
May creative category rin ay sinagawa para sa mga junior at senior high school. Makikita dito ang mga imbensyon na nakakatulong at pumoprotekta sa kalikasan. Hindi rin nagpahuli ang mga batang nasa edad na 6 to 9 years old para ipamalas ang kanilang galing sa robotics.
We need to make our city inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. What? To move forward and live to the tree.
4 na araw ginanap ang Robotics Olympiad, kaya laking tuwa ng ilang estudyante at teachers na nagbunga ang kanilang paghahanda sa kompetisyon.
Extremely rewarding. We want to thank everyone who helped us, from our friends, our family, our teachers, our team in school, our organization, Nexus.
Super saya namin na nag-pay off yung hard work namin during yung mga long hours of training namin.
Robotics is fun. You're learning while having fun.
Malaking karangalan para sa mga nanalong estudyante na ipakita ang galing ng Pinoy sa robotics. Dahil makakasama sila sa Philippine Robotics team na magko-compete sa World Robot Olympiad sa San Jose, Costa Rica nitong Nobyembre. Mix Bustos, ABS-CBN News.
All right. And because of the initiatives we've had for the past 21 years in the introduction of robotics technology in education, we have been conducting free teacher training to the Department of Education, the Department of Science and Technology, and other private schools. And in the year 2020, the Philippines was lauded and was featured in the World Robot Olympiad annual report. Salta Multimedia signed a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Education as a robotics technology partner. And during the onset of the COVID pandemic, we were able to pivot to the digital world, or the robot virtual games, or the robot virtual competition. And the 19th Philippine Robotics Olympiad was a hybrid competition wherein the students were able to showcase their robotic skills to the robot game and the robot projects through a hybrid platform. So the robot virtual games looks like this. The virtual playing fields and the virtual or the digital assembly of robots and the online virtual competitions. And I'm pleased to announce as well that I am the first and only and a female woman, World Robot Olympiad ambassador representing 72 countries. So the reason being is that I have been introducing robotics technology in the Philippines for the past 21 years, and that the Philippines has been a benchmark for robotics technology and received an accolade in several World Robot Olympiad competitions. After which we will be showing you the World Robot Olympiad Canada 2020 Gold awardees later on during this webinar. So what are the career paths for robotics, you might ask? Well, there is still a growing industry for robotics, for manufacturing, but you can join in related fields, like you can become a data scientist, a data analyst, software engineer or developer. You can be a cloud manager, AI manager, social media content manager, game developer, implementation analyst, QA testers, and multiple platforms, and even an aeronautics engineer or a virtual assistant. And I also would like to announce that with the recent passing of the Innovative Startup Act by the Philippine government, there will be opportunities for entrepreneurs to also take into account robotics as part of your startup in your specific businesses. So with this, I'd like to say thank you very much. And I would say TECHX rock. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Miss Mylene. So for our viewers later on, we will have a chance to ask her some questions. So let me now introduce to you our second speaker. She actually started doing robotics from year 2012, her grade 7 days up to 2018, her senior high school. She joined numerous robotic competitions organized by FELTA over the years, Philippine Robotics Olympiad, and the first Lego League. She continues to be active in robotics as she is already part of the Philippine Robotics Alumni Association and still actively involved in the robotics club of the St. Michael's College of Laguna. And she continues her robotics journey as a mentor to the younger pioneers of STEM education. She was previously selected to represent her school in a student exchange program with Hiroshima College in Japan. So let's welcome Jasmine Tan.
Good day everyone and happy Women's Month. I would like to thank Felta Multimedia for inviting me to speak about a topic which I'm very much interested in, encouraging women and girls in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Growing up as a kid, I have always been a curious girl who tends to ask questions like, why is the sky blue? How do robots work? In those times when I started to wonder, my passion for science started to grow. Since then, I've always been fascinated about STEM, about the amazing things that science can do. So when I finally stepped into high school, I started to explore in STEM or STEAM fields even more, just to give a brief background of my love for science and how fun and exciting my experiences in STEM have been. I was in grade 7 when I found out that there's this club in our school called Robotics. It was quite a funny moment because back then I wasn't really aware of robotics education. The first thing that came to my mind was the robotics as in the robotic type of dance that I often see on TV. But then, I was asked by my teacher to join the club since she's very much aware that I am into science and technology. I'm just so glad that I did because joining the robotics club is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I spent many years in the club, from my junior high school years up to senior high school. Being a robotics club has made me even more passionate to pursue a career in STEM despite the existing notions and beliefs that STEM fields are mostly dominated by boys. As a matter of fact, as a kid, I remember watching TV shows about science, and it's really the men and boys who represent the STEM field. When talking about astronauts, scientists, engineers, programmers, it's mostly the picture of men that first comes to the minds of people. I could even recall the times when my classmates in grade school used to laugh at me for saying that my ambition is to become a scientist, an astronaut. People say that I dream too big, that I'm ambitious, that I am living in an illusion. But I don't mind. I love science and it's really what I love to do. So I will pursue my passion, even if it means being the only girl in the team. I love challenging myself and exploring things. And along those years of doing that, of course I had to go out of my comfort zone and be surrounded by different people. For several times, I was put in a situation where I was the only girl in the team. It was actually an empowering moment for me in a sense that I was able to show people that women and girls can also excel in things that are mostly expected from boys. These pictures were taken back in senior high school when all the other girl members of our robotics club were still in junior high school and I was the only one in senior high. It's actually great that in robotics club, girls who are passionate in STEM can find a sense of belongingness, a space where they can be whoever they aspire to be, may it be an astronaut or a scientist. In robotics, everyone, boys and girls, can dream big with limitless possibilities. I am currently in college now, studying at St. Michael's College of Laguna. I'm taking up Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. I don't compete in robotics competitions anymore, but I found a greater purpose, which is mentoring younger robotics club members. It's really rewarding and I'm so happy to see that more and more girls are starting to join our club. We even had an all-girls team who competed. Being a girl in STEM can really be so fun and exciting. Challenging the norms and stereotypes is even more exciting. We at Angelic Gears Robotics Club, we believe that science is fun, science is awesome, and most importantly, science is a place for girls. For all the girls out there who share the same passion as ours, don't be afraid to step up. Pursue your passion and don't be afraid to excel in STEM simply because it is perceived to be a field for boys. We, girls in STEM, exist. We are also capable of doing cool science experiments. We can also build robots. And of course, we can also pull off those white laboratory coats. Now, if we think of it, where do we, girls, really stand in the fields of science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics? How far have we come? This morning, I'd like to focus on these following points. I'll be talking mainly about STEAM as an educational approach. How much percent do girls occupy in the world of science? What is it like to be a girl pursuing a career in STEAM? And of course, all the amazing women who made significant science breakthroughs. By definition, the main difference between STEM and STEAM is that STEM explicitly focuses on scientific concepts. STEAM, on the other hand, investigates the same concepts but with the influence of arts, and that includes the inquiry and problem-based learning methods being used in the creative process. This STEAM concept is not really new to us since back in the day of our great philosophers, they were able to make discoveries by combining science and art. Now, if we're going to look at it in a modern day setting, it's like a group of inventors trying to work collaboratively to develop a gadget. Of course, in the process, they will not only focus on the technical specifications, but also its interface. How is it going to look like? Its size, materials, colors, and things like that. That is where art comes in. Creativity coupled with innovation can do much more amazing things. With STEAM, it has been found that vital skills among students can also be developed. Other than the core knowledge and skills acquired through STEM education, the integration of arts increases creativity and improves happiness and well-being in the process. In a more general perspective, it enhances problem-solving skills influenced by, of course, creativity and innovation. So instead of working persistently to let the students understand mathematical concepts and facts from the books, we must also focus on nurturing creativity through arts. However, in the global scale reality, despite the remarkable progress of women and girls in STEAM, gender gap still persists. This is the actual reality that challenges us, girls, even more. And now we ask why. Some of the reasons for such gender gap include the fact that as women choosing STEM in college becomes a positive trend today, the number of men choosing degrees in STEM is rapidly increasing too, and it is rising so much faster than the number of women. Therefore, the gender gap in STEM does not only remain constant in percentage, but is even growing over the years. If we look at a much specific figure, there are only about 35 female students taking up STEM over 100. These data are based on the Higher Education Statistics Agency and UCAS in United Kingdom, but these figures pretty much apply in general on the representation of women in STEM. As for the number of graduates, there is of course a large gender gap over the years, but still this shows that the efforts to encourage women to enter into STEM fields has been somewhat successful, since there has been a 1% increase by the year 2019. To further analyze the data, here's the subject breakdown of the female graduates. It didn't even reach half percentage compared to men. Disturbingly, in areas of engineering, tech, and computer science, it did not even reach 20%. As for the STEM workforce, women represent less than 30%. The sad reality is that women and girls are defined by so many stereotypes and misconceptions. Here are some of the most common stereotypes that we often deal with. The idea that girls are bad at math, Because mathematics is a gateway subject for science, this myth has broad ramifications, including the belief that women do not succeed in STEM due to the innate differences in ability. But the truth is, there is no innate gender difference in mathematics ability. However, different societal expectations for male and female students in many countries result in varied experiences of learning, levels of confidence, and of course, performance. Another is that success in STEM fields tends to be described with stereotypically masculine characteristics like, for example, autonomy, rational thought, and logic. As for the feminine traits like social skills and caring for others, these are believed to be incompatible with STEM. And so, girls and women internalize these stereotypes. When they associate STEM with masculine instead of feminine characteristics, they do not see STEM interests and activities as matching part of their female identity. A sense of belonging influences women's interest, persistence, and of course, success in STEM fields. Managing work and family can be more challenging for women than it is for men. Women are expected to take primary responsibility for home and preparing roles for parenting, in addition to being a scientist, while men are encouraged to devote themselves to their science and to expect that their home will be taken care of by women. But then, despite the fact that many women feel guilty about working while having a family, recent studies show that children of working mothers are more successful, caring, and concerned about gender equality. They are also more likely to personally challenge gender stereotypes. So women can manage as a scientist and as a mother. Another is the idea that the battle against sexism in science has been won, emerges regularly. But the truth of the matter is, we still have a long way to go. The issue on women being in STEM is still a discord in many industries. There are strong systemic discouragement to women in scientific research, including the lack of career prospects. Unconscious bias also hinders women's employment in STEM. All these have a deep societal, cultural, and institutional roots, and no single strategy can entirely plug the leak. Spreading the fact is a start, but ultimately, it requires a multifaceted approach across all levels of education and workforce. As a staunch advocate for women in STEM, I encourage all girls out there to debunk the myths. Let us not perpetuate false beliefs with simple fact that women are less visible in STEM fields. We're going to spark change. We, girls in STEM, exist. We have to think differently and not be conceived by the pre-established norms in science. STEM is also for girls. We have to let young girls to dream big. Girls are so much more than just a princess. Just as how Legos are branded as toys for boys and that girls can play it as much as boys do. But we're living in a different time now. Girls can be whoever they want. Girls can aspire to be engineers and scientists. We have reached this point in time where girls can play Legos for as long as they want. If you haven't heard of Eliza Carson, she was selected as one of the Mars ambassador, becoming one of the 7 people representing the mission to establish a human colony on Mars by year 2030. She attended space camp 7 times and was the first to attend all 3 NASA space camps around the world. At just 19 years old, Eliza's list of accomplishments also include being able to graduate in Advanced Space Academy and multiple Solid camps. With all these, she has been officially certified to go to space and be an astronaut trainee. Isn't it amazing and inspiring at the same time? In addition to that, here we have Katie Bowman, the girl who got us to the black hole. Tons of data right there. We can see how far women have paved the way for amazing discoveries in science. Even long before back in 1969, Margaret Hamilton was also responsible for the code that got us to the moon. These are just some of the many women and girls who have showed us that we can really excel in STEM. This only proves that girls never stop. We continue to make history and create breakthroughs. Who knows, maybe years from now, one of us will be making amazing discoveries and inventions too. We as women and girls, we have a lot to contribute. We are awesome. And here are some of the great women in science whom we look up to. Thank you to all women who paved our way to science. They have made significant discoveries that change STEM forever and improve our way of life. Seeing all these women and girls in the history of science, I personally often wonder how long will it take for us to have a time when we wouldn't have to single out or highlight the presence of women in STEM because it's already part of the norm. Because women are already seen as capable as men. Because we are given equal opportunities in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. How long will it take for us to have the society understand that our existence as women is not a mere quest to prove ourselves worthy of recognitions? It's really a long way to go, but it is not a hopeless vision. Now is the time that we empower young girls to pursue careers in STEM. I believe that it is a giant leap towards a better future. We as women and girls can be leaders, innovators, trailblazers, influencers, and changemakers, and that's something that we all benefit from. The experience of being a girl in the world today is changing, and so are beliefs, convictions, and perceptions. We must strongly be committed to prove that science is a place for women and girls until it becomes part of the norm. The work towards a more equal future for girls everywhere continues. We must invest in the future of the girls. Let us level the playing field in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Always keep in mind that we are awesome. We got the girl power, and we are so much more than what the society dictates us to be. That will be all. Thank you.
So that's Jasmine Tan, a very inspiring and awesome young woman in STEAM. So later on, that was a video of her previous presentation, of her previous talk, but later on she will join us during the panel discussion. So let's now go to our third speaker. She is the general manager of I Create Cafe Manila. It is a company actively promoting STEM to the general public. She is also a FELTA TechVoc Academy Master Trainer and a certified Lego Education Academy Teachers Trainer. So let's welcome Ms. Annalyn Aban.
Okay, so good morning everyone, and good morning to my co-speakers as well. To Miss Maylene, to Jasmine Tan, and to BYC Inovus team, and for FEU Tech team. Good morning. All right, so let me introduce my name. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen. There you go. So I'm Miss Annalyn Aban from Belta Multimedia Incorporated, a Master Robotics Trainer under Pelta TechVoc Academy, and a Certified Lego Education Academy Trainer as well since 2019 under our Lego Education Solutions. With our company, we aim to modernize education, and in order for us to provide that, we are in partnership with Lego Education Denmark. That's the headquarters. Then we have that for our Lego Education Solution platform. We use that for STEM, specifically for Lego Robotics as our platform in robotics. And of course, we are in partnership as well with Cognition Robotics from Canada for our virtual robotics toolkit. Now, for today's talk, I will be sharing of what is what is robotics, and the careers of the future. Okay. Now, let's define first of what is a robot. Okay. A definition from Robot Institute of America says that Robot is a reprogrammable multifunctional manipulator designed to move material, parts, tools, or specialized devices through various program motions for the performance of a variety of tasks. Now, to simplify, robot is a mechanical machine designed for us to execute one or more tasks automatically with speed and precision. Now, there are different types of robots. Educational robotics, that's what we're focusing with Pelta Multimedia using Lego Education Platform. We have their mobile robots, domestic robot, and industrial robotics or industrial robots. Okay. Now, with Pelta Multimedia, we focus more in educational robotics for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. With us, we believe that robotics is a great way to learn about programming and an even more powerful tool for teaching science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subject. Would you believe with our program in I Create Cafe Manila, it's a Lego Education Creativity Center. Um, we are starting up with 6-year-old kids, okay, and we also have our programs for robotics for kindergarten up to graduate programs. So talking about, again, educational robotics, it will teach us the design, it will teach us the analysis, the application, and the operations of robots. Robots include articulated robots, mobile robots, or autonomous vehicle. Educational robotics can be taught from elementary, even in kindergarten, because we are having our program in Miriam College since 2016, and of course up to graduate programs. Now, talking about the careers of the future connected to robotics. Okay, so when we talked about the careers of the future, we're talking or aiming for autonomous cars, smart cities, robot for assisted living, and of course, distance learning. Okay, focusing with autonomous cars, today's cities face massive challenges in improving mobility. Just speak to any city mayor, transit official, or city planner, and they will tell you all the stumbling blocks that they face regarding safety congestion and accessibility. Autonomous vehicles offer so much more than just mobility benefits. Perhaps the most striking and valuable impact that they can have is on safety. Traffic accident can be reduced by almost 90% by using driverless cars, significantly improving the safety of our roads. Now, moving forward with smart city, where actually this is one of the goal that we really wanted to achieve. A smart city is an urban area that uses different types of electronic Internet of Things sensors to collect data. Insight gained from the data are used to manage assets, resources, and services efficiently. In return, that data is used to improve the operation across the city. Just for example, at the moment, most of the drivers nowadays are using Waze for us to save more time, right? In looking for correct allocation. Then moving forward with robots for assisted living. Okay, the robots' advanced cognitive functions will be driven by thorough modeling and monitoring of both the home environment and its user. This will allow the robot to understand not only user commands, but also user behavior and intention. The robot will therefore be able to detect crucial forgotten actions of the user or step in an emergency cases such as falls, With this, RAMSIP's user-centric cognition therefore provides for autonomous decision-making over when how the robot should assist or intervene. Okay, and next to that would be the distance learning. We are actually experiencing this at the moment because of COVID-19 pandemic. Distance learning, also known as corresponds education or home study. It is a form of education where there is little or no face-to-face interaction between students and their instructors. Distance learning students usually study from home instead of attending physical cases. So talking about the future, this would be the sets of things that we are aiming. And please take note that we believe that all was built upon artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and data collection. That is definitely corresponds of what is robots and robotics. So artificial intelligence or AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their action. The term is actually may also be applied to any machines that exhibit traits associated with human mind, such as learning and problem solving. Then, Internet of Things. The Internet of Things refers to a system of interrelated internet connected objects that are able to collect and transfer data over a wireless network without human intervention. So the personal or business possibilities will be endless. Then all was built upon data collection. It is the process of gathering and measuring information on variables of interest in an established fashion that enables one to answer stated research questions, test hypotheses, and evaluate outcomes. Then all was built with design skills, coding skills, and of course, teamwork and communication. Creative problem solving is an approach that identifies unique solution to issues through a process of problem identification and resolution planning. It goes beyond conventional approaches to find solution to workflow problems, product innovation, or brand positioning. Developing the skills of creative problem solving requires a constant improvement in order for us to encourage an environment of consistent innovation. Then coding skills, it's a mass skills nowadays. Coding is an expression and problem solving. You can focus on its application on programming languages, but no matter how you practice it, you cultivate these two essential skills which will help you in all aspects of life. For all the reason, coding usually coding casually or professionally can improve our lives. So it's a must-have skills. Then of course we believe that all built with teamwork and communication skills. In robotics, it's very essential. So teams that communicate complete projects in a quicker and more efficient amount of time than others. And we believe that effective communication also allows team members to understand the roles and the roles of everyone else in the team. It also gives rooms for understanding among the team members of what's need to be done. In Philippine Robotics Academy, team and the communication is the key for you to success with the program. In Philippine Robotics Academy, or in Philippine Robotics Olympiad rather, usually the team were composed of three for a regular game. We have the builder, we have the programmer, and we have the person that is assigned for the design and for the parts of the pieces, so they can work together because we gave them time pressure for the Philippine Robotics National competition. Okay, and of course, we believe that all will learn by playing robots. As I mentioned, we have the program for as early as for preschoolers, And with Felta Multimedia, the program that we are using comes with a robot-based curriculum under Lego Education. Then, of course, it's very important for us to exercise all the learned skills. So, Felta Multimedia is also organizing a national competition here in the Philippines. And for in Philippine robotics competition, we send them abroad to represent the Philippine to the World Robot Olympiad. Okay. Now, let me share with you this case study on how or what is the importance of having as part of the program the educational robotics. Look at this one. Look at this case study of Boeing. This the data comes from Cognition Robotics. Boeing Aircraft is a U.S. Company that makes aircraft, and the company started in 1917. Okay, so this is one of the world's largest manufacturers that integrate the process from all the examples that I've discussed. So they integrated the process from requirement analysis to product design, from design to testing, from test to production planning, and from planning to the shop floor. There you go. Then let me show you their digital thread. So we have here a design, modeling, simulation under virtual, then a delivery. So we have physical, needs, virtual, and a solution. All of these steps for its digital thread requires integration between digital and physical assets. This digital twinning will be a requirement for all the companies moving in the future. So from digital concept and the design to the physical process. For example, looking at the digital thread, okay, Boeing is using Mindstorm's robot for their designs, okay, and the virtual robotics toolkit to teach their senior engineering staff to how seamlessly form digital model to physical reality. So for design, we have their sets of Lego pieces for the physical robot. For modeling, or for the functional models, we have her Lego pieces. Okay, then for the digital system model, we have there the Mindstorms. Then we have mission simulations, and we have solutions, and the robot game where you're gonna execute it. Okay. Now, let me show you of what we can offer with virtual robotics toolkit. Let me show you a very short video. All right, so that's the virtual robotics toolkit, one of the solution that we're using for our robotics program. All right, so if you are under STEM track, okay, that is one of the best tools that you can enjoy to make the learning more fun. Okay, and one of the challenge that we encounter during this COVID-19 pandemic is we are not allowed for the face-to-face training and workshop, and we are not allowed for the face-to-face national event like Philippine Robotics Olympiad. So with the help of the virtual robotics toolkit, we able to continue with the programs that we have for the whole school year. So the virtual robotics toolkit is an advanced simulator designed to enhance the Lego Mindstorms experience. And this is an excellent learning tool for classroom and competitive robotics. So as I mentioned, we able to continue with all the robotics programs that we have, including all our event like the Philippine Robotics Olympiad, and still the Philippine team able to represent the Philippine team to the World Robot Olympiad Canada just last year. Okay. Now, just to give you a glimpse of what can you do with virtual robotics toolkit as a tool for learning and for competitive robotics. As I mentioned, robotics is a great way for us to learn about programming, and programming is a math skills nowadays, and even more powerful tools for teaching science, technology, engineering, and mathematics subjects. For, as I mentioned, under Lego Mindstorms EV3 education, we have there a complete curriculum that we use for our educational program. And we believe that simulation is an effective means for understanding how physical concepts like force and motion come to play in real life. So as you can see from the Boeing case study, they are also using a virtual platform for them to test and see the progress of the certain product. Okay, and with the toolkit, you can build and program your robot using the exact same tools that you would use on a real thing. Code you write for your simulated robot will also run in real life. Okay, so simulated robots are available 24/7 and don't ever break and never missing parts. So if you don't have the physical robot with you, there is no problem with that with virtual robotics toolkit. Okay, then the toolkit will make it easy for your team to rapidly design and prototype your robot, and it will give us edge for competitive robotics. So basically what we did with the physical thing at ease, we can design a robot, we can create robots accordingly through the use of Lego Digital Designer application. We can write code through the use of Lego Mindstorms software. And there you go. So why wait until your next meetup to see if your robot actually works? So simply import custom robot models from a variety of popular CAD tools such as Lego Digital Design and begin experimenting instantly. All right. So that's the virtual robotics toolkit. Okay, so at ease, talking about the program, we can still enjoy building and designing our robots. So bring your elder creation to life. So the virtual robotics toolkit has the ability to import files that are created using a number of free 3D modeling tools. Whether you are modeling using Lego Digital Designer, the one that we're using, MLCAD or LDCAD. So right after you do the building, right after you do the design, what you just need to do is simply import your model and prepare to be amazed. Okay. Then within just a few short minutes, you'll be working with your own. So we can share the link for you to explore as well. Then next to that, next important skills in robotics program is programming, of course. The use of Lego Mindstorm's EV3 programming environment for you to write programs to control your virtual robot Just as you would the real thing, if you're familiar with Mindstorm's programming, you already know how to use the simulator. All right. So there are so many languages that can be used for the platform. Then, of course, it's very important for us to do testing. So it's very important for us to do the simulation. So the simulator advanced physics engines afford an unparalleled level of realism. Experiment with how various physical forces act on your robot. You can change the friction on the playing surface, or you can mess with gravity to see how your robot would behave in a weightless environment. Then, of course, it's right after you do testing, right after we do the simulation, it's very important for us to analyze. See what your robot see, visualize the sensor output in an easy to understand way, and the virtual robotics toolkit provides support for the following sensors. So we have the ultrasonic sensor, color sensor, touch sensor, IR sensor, touch sensor, gyro sensor, infrared sensor, and compass sensor. And if you are interested to know more of this, you can check Pelto Multimedia Incorporated, a YouTube channel for more tutorials. And let me share a glimpse of what you can do with Virtual Robotics Toolkit. So we have here a sample of the interface. So on the right side, it includes the learning management system, wherein it refers to the learning environment wherein we can have the learning guides for the platform, for the robotics program, and for all the other courses that will benefit the program. Then on the upper left side of the screen, we have the simulation environment, wherein, as you can see, we have there the virtual playing field, we have the virtual robot, and we have the virtual element wherein we can simulate and we can test the robot design according to the given problem. All right. Then on the lower side, we have the EB3 programming and environment, wherein this is the environment wherein we can explore Mindstorm's EB3 curriculum units. And this is also the environment where we can write our codes. All right. Sample glimpse of the challenges that you can enjoy there. We have sets of challenges. We have sandbox, apartment cleanup, maze, and etc. for us to do the simulation and for us to do the testing. So these are the basic course. In this sets of project, you will learn basic of simulation using the AB3 programming environment. And these projects are grouped so that each successive project introduce a new skills or a sensor. So this is a very friendly projects and activity for all the activity under Sim Basic, and much higher activity comes with a lesson plan that serves as guidance and references. Then it also offers competitive robotics, where we have here a competition tab. So with this, it is a collection of advanced multiplayer projects where you can test your newly learned skills against another friend or an autonomous robot. Then it also offers World Robot Olympiad challenges. So you can have here access of the previous challenges that we able to accomplish already for practices purposes. Then we also have here tabs for first Lego League competition. All right. So from here, you can also have the access. First Lego League is one of the programs that we are offering in Pelto Multimedia. So we have here local competition. Then right afterwards, we send the team abroad to represent the Philippine team for the international events. Okay. Then right after this, let me share you the actual robotics toolkit software. Okay, just for a moment. This is just a very short demonstration for you to see on how are we gonna build robots and how we're gonna make it move using the virtual toolkit. This is actually a lifesaver when we encounter COVID-19 pandemic. All right, and as you can see, it comes with the coordination of the platform that we are using. uh, which is the Lego Mindstorms for physical robots. Okay, so let me reshare my screen. There you go. So this is the toolkit. So as you can see, it comes with a different environment wherein we can explore Mindstorms EV3 and Virtual Robotics Toolkit. Now, let me open the toolkit. There you go. So those are the challenges that I'm discussing a while ago. So I'm going to proceed with the sim basic for a basic demonstration. With this, we're going to learn the basic of the simulator by driving a robot in an empty room for us to manipulate. Okay, there you go. Okay, as you click read more, it will give you access to the lesson guide for your complete reference. There you go. So even if you are not a pro or if you are a beginner, you can enjoy using this. Then going back, let's go and proceed to the simulation. Okay, there you go. So at the moment, it's leading us to the simulation environment. Right, so as you can see from here, we have here the virtual playing field where we can run and test our robot according to what is the problem or according to what is the theme. Then we have there the virtual robot and the virtual elements. And on the upper left side of the screen, we have here the intelligent brick that serves as the heart of all EB3 robots, okay, or all of the Mindstorms are robots. So let me show you on how we can manage to redesign or to add up design to our robot using the virtual robotics toolkit itself. But if you want to create a more design like for a sumo battle, that's the time that we need to use a CAD, which is the Lego Digital Designer. Okay, there you go. Just for a moment. There. So there are panels or tabs. So as you can see, we have there the mimic of the virtual robots. So we have there the intelligent brick that serves as the heart of the robot. We have there the controller, and then under we have there the motors in order for us to make it move. So on the left side of the chart, we have here the available attachment that we can add up to our robot. So let's add up the lifter. Then on the right side, you're gonna see as well where you can place that. So we can manage to monitor the available position. Then simply click add and it will be automatically added to your initial robot design. Then we can also add up the ultrasonic sensor that serves as the eye of the robot. We can add up touch sensor for bumping purposes. We can also add up a color sensor as well. All right, so there you go. So as you can see from an initial design, we can manage to do attachment to our robot design for us to create more programmable command. But since that we only have a limited time, I just showed you on how we can manage the attachment. But if you're interested, again, you can check out our YouTube channel for Lego Digital Designer tutorial. Right, so that's how we manage attachment. This time, we're going to go to EB3 programming environment, where we're gonna write code. Since this is a demonstration, I'm going to show you the basic one. Okay, so let's just make the robot run. So this is the environment where we can explore EB3 and we can write code. So we need to connect our robot from the G programming environment to the simulation environment. Then let's write a simple code. Let's just make it move for you to see. There you go. Then what you just need to do is simply configure. Okay. Okay, so how to configure the movements of the motor. For example, I'm gonna make it move for a rotation. Then the direction of the robot, positive is going forward, and the negative is going backward. Then this is the motor power, and this one gives you the motor movement. If we pick rotation, the robot will move for let's say 4 rotations. There you go. Then right afterwards, of course, you need to play the play button and play it as well on the simulation. And right afterwards, the robot will move according to the written code. All right, so that's all. So I hope that you're gonna see this toolkit as one of the effective tool that you can use for your STEM subjects. And if you are interested, you can check out our YouTube channel for more tutorials. So I guess I can call it a day. And thank you so much for listening. And good luck.
Thank you, Miss Annalyn. There are actually a lot of questions I'm seeing on the chat box. So later, we will discuss mentor for the session. So they're actually going to do an actual demonstration of their winning project. They are in school. So ngayon to join us. Let me just introduce this team. So they're actually part of the DYCI or Dr. Yangas College's robotics team in 2018. So their team's DYCI Blue Ocean 10 won the Champions Award finalist in the first Lego League 2019 held in Texas. And the DYCI Novus who won first place in the World Robot Olympiad Friendship Invitational Tournament held in Denmark. And the 7th place in WRO World Championship in Hungary, both in the year 2019. So we have here Naia Mendoza, Abby, and Denise. So their team, DYCI Novos, became the champions in the World Robot Olympiad 2020 with their invention named Project Feet. So let's welcome the DYCI Novos team.
Good day, everyone. We are the DYCI Novus from Dr. Yangas Colleges Incorporated in Bocaue, Bulacan. I am Denise, the lead programmer.
I am Naya, the lead researcher. So, last November 2020, we became the official representative of the Philippines in WRO or World Robot Olympiad Canada with the theme Climate Squad. But since we follow safety precautions, the competition was held virtually. So with the theme, in line with the theme Climate Squad, we discovered through our research, according to National Geographic, that 91% of plastics aren't actually recycled and that 300 million people around the world cannot afford to buy their own footwear. So in line with this, we invented a project that provides a 3P solution, which are provision of footwear, plastic recycling, and power generation. So we will present a video that shows the overview of our project.
I stand to fight climate change. I stand to reduce and recycle plastics. I stand for humanity that needs electricity and footwear.
Hence, we plan to fight climate change
Through plastic recycling and reuse.
by inventing environment-friendly and energy-producing footwear.
We are the DYCI Novus. We invented the robotics project to address global problems of climate change, lack of electricity, and the very basic and simple yet global human needs of footwear. Through our invention, we provide a 3P solution. 1. Plastic recycling. 2. Power generation. And 3. Provision of footwear for 300 million people around the world who find it difficult to buy shoes. Proudly from the Philippines, this is Project P. Footwear through environmentally empowered technology. Project Fit is made of electrotechnic elements, rollers, plastic shredder, and a mold on top of another device. All of this is powered by LEGO Mindstorm's programming. Let us see how it works.
There are two types of plastics that can be used. First is type 1 and second is type 5. Press the touch sensor according to the type of plastic to be shredded. Then, the shredded plastics will now be melted and formed in the slipper mold. Lastly, once the plastic slipper hardened and cooled down, The machine will automatically eject the final product.
The footwear is made from recycled plastic with power-generating features through piezo discs. These piezo discs, as you walk, can accumulate energy that can be used for gadgets and their basic energy needs at our homes.
Thus, the more recycled plastic footwears we make, the more we reduce the unrecycled 91% of the 8.3 billion metric tons of plastics produced worldwide. The more recycled plastic footwears we make, the more energy we can produce, and the more footwears we can provide for the society's marginalized people all over the world. Indeed, Project PEAT is a 3-in-1 global solution. This is Project PEAT, addressing climate change through birth-friendly inventions. We are the DYCI Novus, bankers of the world's most precious treasure, Mother Nature. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas!
So again, this is Project PEAT, which is footwear through environmentally empowering technology. So I will explain the process. To start, you will choose between the two touch sensors, which represents plastic types, which are 1 and 5, used usually for plastic bottles and Tupperwares. And you will insert the plastic into the shredder, and the shredded parts will be moved into the mold on top of a heating device. After a time of heating and cooling down, it will be automatically ejected and will be infused with piezo discs so that it can generate electricity.
Abby, there's no sound. Abby, there's no sound. Change.
Yeah, we lost the sound. Abby, can you just quickly repeat what you have been explaining so our audience can hear? Okay. I think the other mic has a sound. Yung kaninang gamit mo yung wala.
So with the piezo disc inside, we can accumulate energy that will be stored in the power bank. The power bank is located inside the footwear. So while using the footwear, it will continuously accumulate or store energy so that the stored energy can later be used to charge small electronic devices. So it is charging using this footwear. So that concludes Project PEAT. Once more, we are the DYCI Novus, and through this project, we aim to inspire other students or other people to fight climate change in their own ways. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, DYCI Novus team. So before we proceed to our panel discussion, I would just like to again encourage our attendees. So we've seen some questions already, but please do send us kapag may mga katanungan po kayo so that we can ask them during the open forum. So I think we can already start. May I call back on screen, of course, Miss Mylene, Miss Annalene, we have Jasmine, and of course the DYCI Novus team. So we have Naya, Abby, and Denise. So we actually have a very inspiring morning powered by our women in STEM here for the session. So I think as a first question, just to get the ball rolling. I think I want to at least know as a start, in terms of promoting robotics, even STEAM in general, at what level are we? So, kasi I think it's very important for us to know that as a start. And at the same time, if what are the challenges in promoting STEAM and at the same time robotics, and vis-a-vis the opportunities of promoting robotics. Why is it important for us to know and appreciate its benefits and applications? So I think we can start with Mamaylin first. As an advocate, as a staunch advocate of STEAM and robotics in the country.
You know, when I started in 1999 to introduce robotics technology for basic education, and I spoke in front of teachers, they almost fainted. They said, it's so intimidating. Then they asked, what is that, ma'am? Is it a transformer or voltage pipe? So that's all they know about robotics are the movies. And that was a challenge. It was really an uphill challenge because of the, as I said, very intimidating. Just saying robotics is already quite frightening to some. However, we had brave schools who embraced the challenge of introducing robotics. Now, as to the age, would you believe that we can start as early as 4 years old? And Annalyn can attest to that. As early as 4 years old, you can already teach your children, the learners, robotics. Because as mentioned, robotics is a gateway for youth in STEM because there are a lot of, like even Jasmine has mentioned, there are a lot of attached or related industries that are really seeking for all the STEM graduates that we have. Now, the basic skill that you have and can be attested by Naya, Abby, Denise, Jasmine, and even Annalyn is that you should be resilient. That's, you know, matyaga ang tao because you are problem solvers, critical thinkers. And that's the reason why we are propagating this because when you're a critical thinker, you find solutions. And that is what we need right now in our country. Solutions, no? We find solutions to our global problems, to our daily problems. And that's the reason why our Team Novus has won that gold medal because they have provided solutions, three-tiered solutions for the environment, for the economy, and for the lack of footwear. So with that, I'd like to maybe ask some of our learners to share what you have, why you are in STEM. I believe they all shared why they're in STEM, specifically Jasmine. Maybe I pass it on to Jasmine to answer this question.
Okay, so can you guys hear me po?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, so in my perspective, one of the main challenges in promoting STEM or STEAM in general to students is that just like what Miss Mylene said, it's a bit intimidating for some, especially the math, the numbers. But I would say that in order to overcome it, if you have the passion in you, if you are interested in STEM, don't be intimidated about the numbers or the concepts. But yeah, I would say that having an organization that is dedicated and passionate. I'm sorry about the dogs. I'm not sure if you can hear them, but I'm sorry about that. So it is really important to have an organization that is passionate and dedicated in empowering Filipino students to pursue careers in STEM. Given our limited opportunity, I think it's one of the best solutions that we can come up with. And to have PELTA, for example, that generously offers robotics education. Personally, I wasn't really aware of robotics until I got engaged with PELTA, which is really a good thing. So I think that we are starting to shift the mindset of that we've raised in that we Filipinos, especially young women and girls, we are really capable of greater things, especially when it comes to STEM. It is only a matter of time that we realize our full potential. And I think having the initiatives of PELTA, it's really great, a good start that some other organizations can follow.
Okay, thank you, Jasmine. We would also siguro like to hear from our young girls here coming from DYCI Novus team. So especially they were able to create this project FEET, which is actually a very good solution, addresses and a very pressing environmental problem. Okay, go ahead.
So, as for the first question, I think we're at the level, as Miss Jasmine said, that we are shaping the mindset of the young. Because in our school, we are considered a robotics academy with the partnership with Felta. And I know that there are a lot more schools nationwide that are also offering robotics lessons in their curriculum. So, with that, we can start with small numbers, and I know that it will grow larger and larger as time goes by. And with that, the students are encouraged and they are offered opportunities which can inspire them because we can be interested in something but we are not aware of it. So if the opportunity comes in, we will be aware that, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then from that, we can start with the basics and learn more and more until we can come up with solutions that can help the world and help the people as well.
Thank you, DYCI Novus team. I think what I picked up at least from Jasmine and DYCI Novus team, no, na it's very important that in shaping, of course, the mindset and letting us see the opportunities in robotics is for have enablers. In our case, we have here Felta, who's very supportive in promoting the advocacy or in promoting robotics technology, robotics education. And of course, your school, in the case of Jasmine, I think St. Michael's College, DYCI, the Dr. Yangas College. So how about, I think I'm seeing a lot of interest from our viewers, from our audience who might not have this kind of at least ecosystem or support currently, but they're very interested to at least some of them see the opportunities or learn more about how can they participate or they can be involved or how they can actually apply robotics in their either professional or daily lives. So I'm siguro my next question would be, what are the, I mean, aside from Felta, of course, and what are the other enabling institutions or even programs that they can actually um, take advantage of or sign up for so that they will be able to see the beauty of robotics education, of robotics technology. I'm seeing of how they na may mga questions na how can they participate, how can they be involved. So siguro I want to hear from either Ma'am Mylene or Miss Annalene.
I think I'll answer that question.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. So, just a short add up with the previous question a while ago. One of the real struggle here in the Philippines are the resources and the programs, right? So, with that, Pelta Multimedia aim to promote STEM to the general public through I Create Cafe Manila. It's a Lego Education Creativity Center on demand, wherein we offered programs that help us to appreciate more STEM. As I mentioned, our members there in I Create Cafe Manila is early as 4 years old and up. Okay, not just our robotics, we also have those Lego education solution that we use for preschooler for them to have the startup for understanding of what robotics and STEM can help us in educational side and in our programs. So if you are interested to start with the program, we have I Create Cafe Manila. It's a Lego Education Creativity Center on demand. Since we opened that center in line with our 50th anniversary, you can take a robotics course for only 250 pesos per hour using Lego Education Solution programs. And we also have this Pelta Tech Book Academy, wherein we offer robotics technology courses for senior high school students and for professionals as well. So if you are interested, you can check out Pelta Tech Book Academy and I Create Cafe Manila Facebook page under Pelta Multimedia, our mother company.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Annalene. Kasi actually that ties into my next question kasi I think Miss Mylene mentioned about the advocating robotics for all or kumbaga, that effort or that activity in making robotics more inclusive. So we are happy to know that you're actually making, at least in the context of iCreate Cafe, you're making it very affordable, especially for the younger kids. So mga preschoolers. So ayan, so sa mga viewers natin who might younger siblings, you may actually check out iCreate Cafe Manila. For parents, our teachers na may mga anak, so you can check that out. And for our senior high school students na probably you don't have that program in school, so you can take advantage of Felta TechVoc program. You can check
and
that out.
and addition to that, from the programs that we offer for robotics technology, you can receive a national certificate under TESDA.
Oh, that's already, kumbaga, you will be, tama po ba ma'am, you are going to be tested, that since that you will receive a TESDA certification, so that can be honored. So
And
ayan.
you will be our robotics technologies under Felta TechBook Academy.
Wow. So I hope a lot of you, our viewers who are asking that, can take advantage of that program, so you can check that out.
Can I chime in, Gianni?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. I just want to add, because while we're broadcasting, a lot of parents have been sending me messages because their children are so bored because they're just in the homes. So I believe that the virtual robotics toolkit is a good way for them to venture into robotics in the safe environment of their home, because I saw in the chat box that there were some questions about face-to-face.
Yes.
You don't necessarily have to go to the school. You can just do the robotics virtual toolkit from your own homes. And we have been participating in international competitions. In fact, we have a year-long calendar of competitions if you want to participate. And then there was a question about the school representation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Annalyn, can you expound? Because they said they want to be representing their family instead of a school.
Originally, we started the Philippine Robotics Olympiad for the Philippine Robotic Academy members. But since that there are so many interested school, like homeschoolers who doesn't have their institution, we offer I Create Cafe Manila program wherein you can have our workshop. You can do training with us as well, and then from there you can represent your own schools. So yes, we offer online trainings through the use of Virtual Robotics Toolkit. So if you are interested to join Philippine Robotics Olympiad and Robot Virtual Games local and national event, please reach out Pelta Multimedia and I Create Cafe Manila as well. So we're very much willing to do orientation and help.
Ayan. Thank you, Ms. Annalyn. Thank you, Ms. Mylene. I think that answered at least some questions regarding joining competitions and maximizing their participation or being able to apply robotics amidst pandemic or this time that we're all virtually hanging out together. So that's also a productive activity especially for kids who are just locked in their homes. And I think I also saw some very interesting questions in terms of robotics application incorporated into other industries. So this question, I think, is coming from Eman Gamboa. So when the time that the technology of robotics will be incorporated into animation and game development, e-sport and game streaming industry, which is, I think, I'm seeing a lot nowadays, how will it change or impact those industries that were said, and what advice will you give for those who want to do this kind of innovation? And I think I'm seeing a similar question, but this time bringing in robotics, for example, in forensics industry.
Let me answer the second question. I believe Annalyn can answer the first. The second question about the Philippine forensics is that Felta also has a robot arm where you do not have, so it's contactless robotics, where you can use it either for banking, for forensic, or even for hazardous tasks like perhaps bomb retrieval, and other. But it is really primarily for education purposes. So we have a robot arm that is being used, and it's very inexpensive for schools. In fact, we have a project ongoing, which is an AgriBot program project with Southeast Asian Agriculture Research Center in UP Los Baños, University of the Philippines, Los Baños, where we will be using robotics for helping our farmers to have a more productive output for farming. So that is one, not just in forensic, but in other industries as well. Annalyn, you might want to answer the first one. And then probably the
Alright.
students, the DYCI Logos also.
Yeah, I guess. All right. So, with that question, in general, let's just look with the advantages of robots in the workplace. So, as I mentioned during my talk, we're aiming for the careers of the future. We're in with this robotics program. We can consider safety, speed, consistency, perfection. So I think it's all the advantages of robot in each workplace.
Okay, thank you, Miss Annalyn. I think there's another medyo similar, not like similar, but like could be a question, a related question to that would be coming from Alexis Rojas. So the adaptation of technology to education or the information technology education basically starts by enrolling to computer related courses such as BSIT, BS ComSci, BSCom Engineering, BS Math, which are obviously facilitated by computer instructors and teachers. And in the long run, students here will later on learn how to code a program that will develop systems. So talking about future jobs, so IT jobs versus IT instructors. So would it be possible for robotics to create an AI generated robot that will literally teach students how to learn basic concepts on programming languages, like an innovation of e-learning tutorials and automated machine that is capable of discussing programming subjects? And if it is, then how will this affect the hands-on and actual job of professional teachers? And I think I saw a similar question on the chat. I think more on yung I think more on the fear of robot replacing actual human doing the work. So I think I would like to hear your thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I've had this question, even before pandemic, maybe around 5, 6, or even 7 years ago. Will the robots take over? Yung mga,
yung fear.
Yeah, that's the fear. That's the fear. Will take over our jobs, Well, there will be jobs that will be affected. I will not lie about that. Specifically those that are manually operated. What are those? So maybe probably manufacturing. We have, menial jobs. And that's the reason why we need for whether we're IT instructors or professionals, we need to really upskill ourselves because there's always a human side into each machine. Let's remember that. So, like for example, for DYCI, they did not just that the robots didn't appear on its own. They were still programming it, right, to do what it's supposed to do. Same with Jasmine, where they were able to solve a problem and then solve it by using coding, by using research, and also by using, say, AI and other digital tools. So what we're saying is that we have to embrace technology. We should not fear it. But for professionals and even instructors, we should not let AI do all the teaching. We should still be doing the teaching using the AI as a tool. For example, like in agriculture, as I mentioned, we can now anticipate what would happen if there are typhoons, the strong typhoons coming, so that we can plant what's supposed to be planted per season and then what to do if the typhoons come. Right? So AI can help us. It is a tool, but robotics is also a tool for us to grow and to be better but not as a replacement for humans. So don't watch too much movies. Too much movies. Maybe the girls can add on to that, or Annalyn. Okay.
I have, in addition to that, since there are tools for this robotic system for that given question, there are possibilities in the future. But for human intervene, please take note that there are a law of robotics that we are considering when we are take into places. Especially in Felta Multimedia, we are focusing more in educational robotics. But we don't need to be afraid on that. For every programs that we conduct, we are highlighting the law of robotics. If you are familiar with Isaac Asimov's three law of robotics, we are really starting up with that concept for us to for us to know more the responsibility of human between robots.
Thank you, Miss Annalyn. I think Jasmine was raising her hand earlier, so you might want to add up on
Yes,
something to
I would
that.
just like to add my thoughts on it. Definitely, it is possible. It is really possible to create an AI generated or AI teacher that literally teaches codes and programming basics. But just like what Miss Annalyn and Miss Mylene said, we have to keep
Jasmine,
in
we can't hear
mind.
you.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now, po?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, as I was saying, it is definitely possible to create an AI teacher that will literally teach programming codes and basics to students. But just like what Miss Mylene and Miss Annalyn said, we should keep in mind that it should still be us, people, controlling technology, and not technology controlling us, people. They shouldn't be the other way around. And talking about the advancements, definitely it will continue to progress each day. There's no going back. There's no going back to the manual processes. And as we move on towards the future, for sure there will be more and more advancements. That's why we are looking at the angle of empowering the students as young as they are, so that when the time comes, they will be equipped with the necessary skills and profession in general. They will pursue profession in STEAM, and so they will have more opportunities in the future because the industry will really be filled with technology for sure. And another thing about there is that technologies don't have their moral code. They don't think on their own. They are programmed by humans, and the moral dilemmas embedded in different technologies, it's more on the aspect of people pa rin po. So, as much as we see the future being dominated by technology, there is still the element of humans and people controlling behind it. So, I think that's all po. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasmine. I think
Naya wants to say something.
yeah, go Naya.
Naya.
Yeah, we just want to share that in previous competitions, for example, when we join FLL or WRO, PRO, and competitions like that, we always keep in mind that we are not just joining or creating an invention for us to win or to present something. Instead, our mentors always remind us that we should think of a solution that will help more people in the long run. So we just want to share that when we create more robots or more inventions, more innovations, we should keep in mind that we are not creating it for the sake of replacing us. We only create it for the sake of helping more people and helping our world because as our world improves, we also need more innovation that can help cater our needs. And also, for example, like what Ma'am Maylene said earlier, when there are calamities that are happening, we can make use of robotics and inventions that we make to help us to have a better response system so that we can prevent a more destructive calamities and such.
Thank you, Naya. That's actually a very inspiring statement from you, especially ties in with what FTIC has been advocating also. So we always underscore the importance of nation building in innovation. So we try to teach innovation in a 360 view or 360 degrees. So it has to be a holistic approach, has to be human centered, and it has to be a solution that will solve or alleviate suffering or problems of people. So kumbaga if it's not solved, that it's not translated to a full innovation yet if it's yun nga sabi mo na if you're doing some invention, it has to be really solving actual problems or real world problems. Thank you for that. And at the same time, I actually yesterday, the previous weeks, we have been sharing about the 21st century skills. So I think it has also been mentioned by Ms. Mylene earlier during her presentation that the 21st century skills are skills being taught by robotics education or by the robotics technology, especially that there's actually there's when or because of the fourth industrial revolution, and there are a lot of technological advancements and technological disruptions, there's a growing mismatch, and it's already skills, or it has been transforming the future of work, and it's not anymore degrees, but it's skills, or it's the skills that are actually kumbaga, it's the skills that will help us become more hireable. And I think I want to address this question to DYCI team or anyone from the DYCI team and just Jasmine. How do you see yourself in the near future? So someone or us girls being the world of STEAM, how do you see yourself, or what opportunities you think you can still take advantage of, and for our viewers, especially the young ones, to see what are the other opportunities that they can look forward to, especially that I can see that there are a lot of interest coming from them. So anyone?
So for the opportunities, I think one of the best opportunities that as students or other STEM related people is the opportunity of teaching other students like the younger ones. I think it is one of the best opportunities because it will be us sharing the knowledge that we gain from other people as well. So I think it will be best because they will be able to gain knowledge about technology, which can inspire them to create innovation that will solve global problems.
Talking about passing it on, how about you, Jasmine? You might want to add also to that.
Yes, so thinking about my future, to be totally honest, I'm a person who dreams too big. So I'm actually very interested in space exploration, but yeah, but I feel I really see it as a really, really far-fetched vision for me to achieve. But along the way, I am really focusing my energy and effort on empowering young girls pursue careers in STEM. Just like what the DYCI Novus team said, I believe in the power of paying it forward. With my strong background and foundation in robotics, I plan to share it to pretty much everyone, especially girls who are also interested in technology. And I personally see it as a very possible vision for me to achieve since I'm still involved in our robotics team. And with the skills that I acquired, I feel like I'm I, I'll be able to find my place in the industry sometime in the future.
Can I add to what Jasmine has said? Right. In
Sure, Ms. Miley.
2019, yes, the Philippine Space Education Act has been approved by government. Therefore, we are now preparing young people, young girls, for the Philippine Space Program. So Jasmine, you're in the list. And then as also we are also good strong partners of the Department of Science and Technology. There is a program called Space for Women. So for those of you, including Jasmine, interested in the space program, please let us know, Felta Multimedia, so that we can include you in the upcoming trainings and webinars about the space program. To be, like, I'm sure you've heard of the Diwata satellite that was just launched, and it already came back. So we are looking for the youth to be part of it. So please get in touch with the Felta Multimedia.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Mylene. I also heard about that during the Making Space for Women webinar. I also attended it. I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you po.
Of course, we are looking forward seeing a Filipina woman in space in the near future. Of course. So that's a lot of opportunities that our viewers can actually explore. I think siguro we are very happy to see, of course, the team and Jasmine, who are already very much advanced in terms of of their experience and learning in the STEAM or in robotics industry. But how about those na talagang totally wala pang knowledge? So I think that's also where intimidation comes in. Parang meron bang prerequisite for me to be able to be part of these programs? So what should I do? What should I prepare for? Ano bang dapat meron ako or things like that? Meron po bang ganon, Teacher Annalyn or Miss Maylene?
Lydia.
Miss Annalyn, naka-mute ka po.
I'm sorry for that. Na-excite ako dun sa questions. Okay. So, actually, with Felta Multimedia, we are promoting robotics for all. So, walang requirements na kailangang ihanda. What you just need to have is yung passion nyo to learn. Alright? So, one of the programs that we have in Felta is Philippine Robotics Academy. Wherein we added robotics as part of their programs or as part of their curriculum. So as early as elementary, we have that robotics program already as part of their regular subjects. So there's no need for you to worry or no need for you to intimidate of I have my zero knowledge on robotics, so how can I join the program? So there's none. So what you just need to do is give us your passion. And again, there are two options. So we have the Philippine Robotics Academy program. So St. Michael and UICI is one of the partners that we have. So si Jasmine, for sure, elementary pa lang siya nagro-robotics as part of her subject. Usually kasi the schools integrate robotics as part of their TLE subject, as part of their science subject, or as part of their computer subject. So we actually help the school to make the program more peaceful. If the school are are not into Philippine Robotics Academy program yet, as I mentioned, we have that I Create Cafe Manila and Pelta Tech Book Academy, who are very much willing. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Annalyn. So I hope a lot of our viewers will actually check that out. So you don't necessarily your school might not be into robotics, but if they are, you might want to encourage your institution to actually take advantage of and connect with Felta. But if hindi, so they also have other programs. So you just need to have that appetite and passion for learning to know more about robotics, and then eventually if you're ready, then you can actually have that opportunity to compete as organized by Felta. So it's already 12:05, but we still have a lot of viewers. So there, I think we would like to, so that we don't drag too much of the program too long. I would end with this last question already. So siguro, I would like to ask everyone, how do you see the future of robotics in the country? So is it bright, or I'm sure we have a long way to go, but from where we are right now, what can we what are still the things that we can do? I would also like to point this out. If there are things or support that the other stakeholders can actually provide, what are those, so that we can actually strengthen our robotics and STEAM in the country? And at the same time, especially for Jasmine and the DYCI team, ano yung advice ninyo for the younger folks out there who would want to explore opportunities in the robotics or in STEAM industry? Okay. Anyone can just start?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay, ma'am.
I'll start. Well, I have good news. Robotics has related fields. In fact, for the past few months, we have been working with a recruitment organization called Job Heroes. So students, even instructors, educators, who can code. There's a lot of offerings for you. The BPO's IT industry is looking. Imagine one company is looking for 5,000 programmers. That's just one company. So we have been offering this opportunity for the IT industry, and we are offering it to you for the FEU community and for our partner schools, or even for the general public, that if you would be interested to take a part-time job from the comforts of your home, if you can code, or you would like to be an AI manager or cloud manager, a data analyst, you please contact Felta Multimedia. There's a lot of opportunities and economic opportunities for you, and this will also entail a lot of training as well. So that's my take. Robots will not take over. I promise. We promise. But I also would like to say, for all the girls out there, please join the STEM field, because we do need more girls and women in technology community. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mylene. How about our other speakers? Ms. Annalyn, you might want to go next. Or Jasmine.
Yeah,
or the
I think
DYC.
Jasmine. I think Annalyn has some internet. Yeah, okay.
How about Jasmine?
Okay, so to end, I would like to say that paving our way towards the future, women and girls are already making lots of contributions. And we, as women in STEM, we will definitely occupy a space in this future of robotics that we are talking about. And my advice to young girls out there who are like me, very passionate in STEM, never be afraid to dream big. No matter how intimidating or challenging things may get, let us never lose sight of our passion and our dedication for our dreams. I think that's all po for me.
Thank you, Jasmine. I think we go for DYCI team first. So Abby, Naya, and Denise.
First of all, our message to the young people or the ones who are intimidated in joining robotics or STEM. Us ourselves started with zero knowledge about robotics and technology, but through the help of our institution and FELTA, little by little, we were able to learn about it and deepen our passion. Because through their help, we were able to understand that robotics and STEM isn't just something that is there. We can make use of it so that we can take advantage of it to help a lot of people. And also, as people who are already in STEM and robotics, it is our responsibility to pave the way for the young ones so that in the future, more and more people, especially young ones that will also share their knowledge to the future generations, will be clear and for us to brighten our future with the use of robotics.
Thank you, Naya. So is Abby and Denise gonna say something also? Might wanna add to that?
So, as for how I can view the robotics in our country, we all know that we have been facing many hindrances in terms of the development or the improvement. But I think that as we can see, there are many opportunities. There are many people who are interested in exploring and expanding the world of robotics. And I think that in the near future, it will bear fruit, which will help our country to be, as of now, we can keep up with other countries, even if they are a bit higher. Yes, but I think that in the near future, we can advance more than them or something like that. Because right now, even as we are, we can keep up with all their ideas, inventions, and that's all.
So for me, just like what they said, I think robotics or technology will have huge advancement in the future. Especially knowing that there are a lot of students who are interested in joining robotics competition or even gaining knowledge about robotics and technology. So my advice for those students or who really want to join robotics or who wants to learn technology, be passionate and give time and effort to learn what you really want to learn, so that we will be able to combine our innovations to solve the global problems in our country.
Thank you, DYCI. And of course, lastly from Miss Annalyn. Is your internet connection better now? Parang medyo nagka-problem si
Right.
Miss.
So
Ayan,
in
yeah, we
addition
can
to
hear.
that, for
Sure, go ahead, ma'am.
right. So in addition to that, for all the youngsters who are watching right now, there are so many tools and there are so many programs that we can enjoy for us to appreciate more of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And programming is a must-have skills nowadays. I'll guarantee that it will open doors of opportunities to you. So don't be afraid and explore more. And I'm hoping and aiming to see more girls on STEM on the future. So good luck and keep safe to everyone.
Thank you very much to all our inspiring women speakers for this morning. So we have Miss Maylene, the President and CEO of Felta Multimedia, and Miss Annalyn, the General Manager of I Create Cafe Manila, our DYCA Novus team. Thank you so much. Very awesome. And of course, Jasmine. So thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much to all our attendees. So we almost reached 300 live viewers. So before we officially end, we would also like to thank our partners, so AM Dado Banatao Incubator, our student organization partners, Association of Student Technopreneurs and Innovators, and the FE Entrepreneurship Club. So this TECHX is regularly done every first Wednesday of the month. So for those who have been asking in the chat box, our team will be sending a link for the post-event survey so that you can accomplish the survey and claim your digital certificate afterwards. We would also like to invite you to the different programs of the FE Tech Innovation Center. So we recently launched 2 new programs. So every Friday, we're organizing the Innovation Breakfast Club, supporting entrepreneurs, aspiring and existing entrepreneurs coming from the FU community to seek advice from entrepreneur coaches and mentors of the FTIC. We're also organizing a political tech hackathon, Mind Hack, in partnership with WR Numero Research on May 20 to 22. So that's a platform to allow or provide student innovators and aspiring tech entrepreneurs design solutions and technologies that can help enable our public affairs leaders and companies to understand how the public thinks and, of course, empower them in shaping their future. So we are also still accepting applications for the 3rd cohort of the Startup Academy program, which is the Venture Building Program of the FTIC. This is open to aspiring tech startup founders from FEU Tech, Alabang, and Diliman. So for more details, you may follow us on our official Facebook page for event announcements and updates at FEU Tech Innovation Center. Again, thank you very much, and may we all have a good day. Thank you.
believing and having faith in our creativity and the creativity of the Philippine youth.
Overall education of how to ride a motorcycle safely.
Yeah. That's why do whatever you want to do, try whatever you want to try.
All right, now my motivation is survival.
Educate them about why inequalities happen.
that are project premiums that are given for property insurance. These are
getting the data that we are able to provide is one thing, but
thank you very much, Janina, for that wonderful introduction. Hi guys, this is Dr. Mike D, and in this episode, we're excited to give you the secret